on. Hello everyone, I'm Joel Baird, the General Manager of Missoula Community Access Television, inviting you to this edition of Missoula Live. It is live on Monday, May the 14th, and it is a hot afternoon. We have a bunch of guests today. I only have a little bit of business. Kim Anderson, my co-host from Humanities Montana. Unfortunately, Kim wasn't able to be here today. She and I are going to do one more edition of this show about 2 weeks from now. Not exactly, because it will be Memorial Day weekend, and we have news about that coming right up. The first thing, though, I wanted to talk to you about is MCAT's summer camps. The summer camps are coming up pretty soon, so I wanted you to know the eligibility. They're for kids between the ages of 9 and 14, and the first camp is starting pretty soon. It's Monday, June 18th. There's summer camps that start in the afternoon, like 1:15 and 5:30. You know, typically we structure it so that if you're working a day job, you're able to get here and pick your charges up by 5:30, 5:45. That's okay with us. The charge for the camp is $100 for the week. There are some scholarships, a limited amount of scholarships available. So if you're interested, email us, mcat@mcat.org, phone us, 542-6228, or go to the website, mcat.org, and there you'll see a description of the camps, the dates that just flashed by for you, and there's a PDF you can download and print, which is an application. You can make a check and mail it in. Okay, that's enough out of me. My guest has been working on Memorial Day weekend since 1998. What is upcoming is the 85th Annual Memorial Day Services, and this is by virtue of Susan Reneau. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you so much. I can't believe it's been another year.
Yeah, that goes by fast when you mark it in this way. Well, just think of the 85 that went by.
I know. So and the first one was done just after World War I by the American Legion Auxiliary right here in Missoula at the Doughboy statue.
And so was the statue in place for the very first one,
It was dedicated at Memorial Day 85 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, could you tell people then, I mean, in broad strokes, like you are representing the United Veterans Council, which some people think is just you.
No,
but that's
it's not.
True.
Although sometimes I feel that way.
Right.
No, we have representatives from all the VFW and American Legion units and posts, the auxiliaries that come together. And we have about 57 different units and individuals that participate in Memorial Day services. And Missoula has the distinction of having the most Memorial Day services in one day.
Yeah.
We have 10 services in one day.
Yeah. Well, it's a busy day.
So
it's an action-packed day.
It's a very busy day. And this year I have my mother who has moved from Colorado.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's great.
So she is going to be on the bus. My father died recently, and so she's going to be with us on the bus for all the people that participate in the services.
Yeah. Let's detail some of them. You know them by heart almost. I've got the cheat sheet. And people, just so you know, this is on the Saturday or the Monday?
No.
Okay.
It's the Monday.
It is the Monday Memorial Day.
May 28th this year.
Yeah. And I took the liberty, maybe Phil, yes, he put it up. See, I put up so people could read this at home. Now, if you can't read it at home, I'm going to say it for you. The first one, 9:45 a.m. at Caras Park. And could you tell people what happens there?
Caras Park is wonderfully dedicated to the armed forces that served with the sea. So that would be the Navy and the Coast Guard.
Right.
And we have the fire department's rescue scooters that they now have. They don't have a boat anymore.
Right.
They have one of those jet ski things. And they're going to come and they're going to circle in the water and toss a wreath into the water at approximately 10:15. We recommend that people get there at 9:45 at Caras Park. And, you know, that beautiful overlook that overlooks Brennan's Wave, that's where we have the service. And the VFW Post 209 does a 21-gun salute.
Yeah.
And we have the Community Medical Center's care flight coming to do the first of 4 flyovers. in their red, white, and blue helicopter. So it's a very beautiful time. We have a submariner from the Navy who's going to speak, Champ Edmonds. And it will be a very beautiful, beautiful, beautiful service. And the service starts at 10. So we want people to come about 9:45 to kind of get set up. It's a very beautiful service.
And then the next one at 10:45 is at the Missoula County Courthouse.
Yep. And honor guards and color guards come. We start at the Doughboy statue, and that is the traditional Memorial Day service area.
Yeah.
Right along Broadway at the gazebo. And we are going to have various veterans speaking. It will be a fairly short service. It'll be about a half hour. And we ask people to bring their lawn chairs with them because there aren't any chairs except for a few picnic benches.
Right.
And again, we have the lowering and the rising of the flag, and we have the playing of taps, and Bob Phillips and John Haffey from Phillips Law Firm are bagpipers, and they always lead us. In fact, they do that at Karis Park too. So it's very beautiful. That goes from 11 to 11:30, and then all of our honor and color guards get on the bus, and we go to the Fort Missoula Military Cemetery for a noon service that's short, and then we go over to the Western Montana State Veterans Cemetery for a 12:30 service.
Right, and that's the relatively new cemetery by Big Sky High School. I don't know how many years, maybe 4, do you think?
Oh boy, time goes so
Yeah,
fast.
it goes
I think
somewhere
it was
in
4
there.
years. Yeah.
Relatively new.
3 or 4 years.
Okay, you're not wasting any time because then you're at Sunset Memorial, but that's a little longer because there's a lunch break there.
Yeah, that's a lunch break, and we give our people a chance to get plenty of fluids because many of our honor and color guard people, and I've mentioned this to you before, we need people to serve who have been in in various military branches to be in the honor and color guards desperately.
You really need the people because the people from earlier services are aging.
Yes.
And you're not replacing them as fast.
Yes, the VFW is doing pretty good right now, but the American Legion, for holding the flags, really needs more people.
Yeah.
And Sunset Memorial serves a beautiful lunch, a picnic lunch throughout the day for people that have loved ones that are buried there. So we take a break, and then after we have had a short service and we rededicate a flag, we go to Missoula City Cemetery, St. Mary's Cemetery, and the St. Mary's Annex.
Yeah.
So those are kind of quick.
They're at least they're close together on the north side of town.
Yep.
No speakers, but honor and color guards there.
Yes. And Sam Redfern is a sergeant in the Army. He is our chaplain throughout the day. He will be giving prayers, and John Baugh is going to be singing the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh,
he has such a beautiful
yeah,
voice.
he's good at
I
that.
love his baritone voice. And then at the final 2 services are at Rose Park.
Right. The Rose Memorial Garden Park.
Yes.
Speakers, wreaths on monuments, honor and color guards, flyover. So, because you mentioned 4 throughout the day.
Yes, we have a flyover at Karis Park, at the courthouse, at the Western Montana State Veterans Cemetery, and at Rose Park. And Rose Park is broken into 2 ceremonies. The first half, we are going to have Jim Shockey talk to us about his time in Vietnam as a Marine. And we also have a beautiful, the 21 gun salute and all that. And then we break, and then we take our crowd and we walk to all 18 of the monuments. And at the very end, we do the flyover.
Right. So
It's very lovely.
You had mentioned before we started the show that transportation-wise for all these places, this year the general public is on their own.
They're on their own because we have so many units, and it gets to be too cumbersome. So we're going to have the bus, thanks to Beach Transportation. They donate the driver, the fuel, which is huge, and the bus for all of our units to get on the bus and go to all the cemeteries. So we truly appreciate Beach. We also want to thank Benson Farms, who's been in existence since 1900.
Oh, it's been a long time in that location.
And they donate buckets of red, white, and blue flowers that we place at the base of the Doughboy statue.
Oh, that's really nice.
So it's very lovely, and without all of the VFW and American Legion volunteers, we have Knights of Columbus, we have the Civil Air Patrol. Without all of those people coming forward, we'd be lost.
Yeah. And
So
it's a huge event because here on that's one day, so this is Monday, May 28th.
Monday, May 20th.
Starting at 9:45, you've got Caras Park, County Courthouse, the Military Cemetery at Fort Missoula, the Western Montana State Veterans Cemetery, Sunset Memorial, and then Missoula City Cemetery, St. Mary's Annex, and then wrapping the day up at Rose Memorial Garden Park. I mean, that's a lot of events.
That's a lot of events. And by the end, this year, Rose Park is going to be, the service will start at 3:15, which is giving us a little more time
Yeah.
because getting some of our older honor and color guard people into the bus can be a challenge.
Right.
So we want to make sure that they have enough time and they don't fall. The last thing we want is for them to
Yeah.
fall.
Yeah. And so if people want to do any part of this, they're more than welcome, right?
It's all free.
Yep.
Quite a number of the nursing homes and assisted livings are providing buses for their residents to go, and they're going to follow the route.
Oh, good.
So we'll get some of our older people coming, but we want younger people because these are services that are fun for little ones.
Yeah. I didn't take a number or website. Do we have something to give the people? If they forget what we're saying.
If they forget or they want me to email,
Yeah.
I can do that. My phone number is 251-5116.
Right.
And my email is Blue Mountain, all one word, lowercase spelled out, bluemountain@montana.com. And the United Veterans Council, the VFW, and the American Legion welcome everybody to Memorial Day services to pay tribute to the men and women who have died in service to their country. And we also pay tribute to the firefighters and to the police that died on 9/11.
Right. And there are memorials out there at the Rose Memorial Garden Park, both
Yes.
police and fire.
Yes, and we put a wreath. The VFW auxiliary makes the wreaths, and we put them at the base of each of the memorials.
Right. Well, Susan, thank you. I guess I better go because I have guests. I've got
More
company.
guests.
I've got more guests, but thank you so much. And
Yes.
I hope, I think a lot of people really do recognize the work you've done now in your 14th year.
That's hard to
14th
believe.
year she's been working
14th
on
year,
this.
and I told them I would do it until I died.
There you go.
And that
There's
may
a
be
promise.
soon. One never knows.
There's a promise. Well, we've got a lot more guests. Please stay with us on this edition of Missoula Live. We'll be right back.
Howdy! How to get your show on MCAT. Here's a few steps. Make your show. When you finish your show, all you have to do, fill out your program contract for absolutely no fee. What kind of deal is that? Also online. Remember, you must be a Missoula resident. If not, you can have your friend from Missoula turn it in for you as a sponsor. Turn in your show at MCAT. In 3 to 4 weeks, you can have your show on MCAT. And that's how you get your show on MCAT. For more information, contact MCAT, Missoula Community Access Television, at 542-6228 and at MCAT.org.
We can't complain about the couch. I was just going to say you could get a piece of wood to elevate yourself, but now there's no time.
Pop it underneath this one.
So we are back with Linda McCarthy of the Missoula Downtown Association and my new friend, Barb and Neilan of Destination Missoula. Welcome. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much. Thanks
Glad
for
to be
having us.
here.
Yeah. Now you were asking me, do I know about Destination Missoula?
I was asking you
And I
that.
was kind of feigning knowledge, which I think is wonderful that you're here so you could tell people what it's all about.
Well, thank you. Destination Missoula is as our Convention and Visitors Bureau for Missoula. And so our job is to help visitors when they come into town to find their way around and find all the great things that there are to do in Missoula. But it's also to market the city of Missoula.
Yeah.
And so we market to leisure travelers, we market to different events and try and bring them into town and to group travel.
Right, and this kind of is a high season for Missoula.
Right.
Knock on wood.
Yes,
We're
knock on wood
hoping,
is
right?
right.
And well, we kind of know it, that at
Right.
this time of year, tons of people are coming into town. We just had the graduation. We had beautiful
Right.
weather for
Right.
university
It was so
graduation
awesome.
2 days ago. Wasn't as hot as today, even. Now everyone's saying it's too hot, right,
Yeah.
after warning. And a lot is going on, like the tent is getting renewed. Didn't it just get a paint job?
Yeah.
You were on earlier talking about the stage being redone. And Barbara, for you, what are some of the attractions? Like people who live here might be surprised to know what people respond to when they come as visitors.
You know, I think the thing that people respond to the most when they're coming in and visiting are the things like our markets. And places where they can actually really get to know the community because they're enfolded by the community. You know,
Yeah.
people make them feel so welcome. Nobody's a stranger for very long, and that's the thing that keeps people coming back to Missoula. You know, there's a great statistic of 82% of the people who visit Missoula the first time are back within 2 years, and that's
That is
why, because the
interesting.
community is just so great to them.
Yeah, and you mentioned the markets, so the people don't know, and I think a lot of people know, there are 3 markets, or are there more?
There's 3 on Saturdays.
3
and
on
then
Saturday.
The Sunday Carousel Market starts in mid-June.
Okay, so that's a new item, right?
This is the 3rd year of the Sunday Carousel
Okay.
and Market.
And the market here goes on Tuesdays as well.
The traditional Missoula Farmers Market, which is celebrating its 40th anniversary this year, its Tuesday market starts in July, and it'll go through that first week in September, and that's been pretty typical.
Yeah.
The Tuesday market in July and August.
I think of, the unique things about Missoula. Of course, I think of that carousel
Oh,
and the
absolutely.
Caras Park
Right.
Absolutely.
complex
Right.
itself.
Yeah.
And Linda, when I thought of you coming on the show, I thought, well, this is a time to remind people
Yeah.
that beside the markets, there's Out to Lunch
Yep.
and Downtown Tonight. And I wondered if you wouldn't just
I'd love to give you an
describe them a little
overview.
bit.
So we did just finish putting a fresh coat of paint on the pavilion as well as the street lights. We are still in the middle of a capital campaign for Caras Park. We have about $150,000 left to raise to cover all of our expenses. Caras Park is home to about 80 events per year. We just had our Garden City Brew Fest 20th anniversary event a couple weeks ago. And then we are moving into June, July, and August, and the Missoula Downtown Association is producing the 27th year of Out to Lunch and the 12th year of the Downtown Tonight program.
Yeah.
Now, Out to Lunch is Wednesdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. There is a misperception out there that it's crowded and the lines are long and you
No
can't find
kidding.
seating. So I'm here to tell you that we have lots of seating available. The weather's supposed to be beautiful. We have Wi-Fi in the park. We don't want people to work through their lunch. We want them to come down to the park and have lunch. We have
Right.
26 vendors this year. We also have the Out to Lunch shuttle service, so you can catch the trolley anywhere from Doran Blazer Stadium up north along Higgins Avenue. We have free kids activities every week. I did a little overview of music, and we had 80 bands apply this year. So we have 19 local performance groups and 7 groups that are traveling from out of area to perform this summer.
That's great.
And we have a number of special events for both Out to Lunch and Downtown Tonight. I have several kayaking events on the schedule. We have the Best of the West kayak event on Thursday, June 7. We have the Best of Missoula Independent Party on July 12. The Great Grizz Encounter August 23. Those are dates with Downtown Tonight, modeled after Out to Lunch. That's Thursday evenings in June, July, and August from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. Live music, food and beverage for purchase, and children's activities every week. And of course, parking is always free evenings and weekends in downtown Missoula.
Yeah, and I wanted to make sure people knew that because some people don't know.
That's
and
right.
particularly if they live, like, say, in the Target Range area or Lolo or the outlying areas. they may think about it, but they don't remember
Right.
that this is something they've been meaning to check out for the last 5 years and never got to.
Well, and the other
it,
important
so
piece of that is that the first hour is free in the Central Park parking garage, no matter what time of day or day
Oh,
of
that's a
week
good
that it
point.
is. We do have lots of on-street parking, lots of, peripheral parking. Remember, the Holiday Inn downtown at the park does, parking for a fee, and all those monies go back to local nonprofits.
Right.
They donate that all back. And we are doing an out to lunch this year on Independence Day. It falls on a Wednesday.
Oh,
we
so you're
will
gonna be
have,
there.
Mhm,
All
we
right.
will have an Independence Day out to lunch that'll be real special. We have Showdown playing on that night. We have some great music, both local and non-local. So, and then we have a lot of other activities going on in Caras Park. Multiple festivals, Local Fest coming up in mid-June, Celtic Fest in July, of course, River City Roots Festival,
Right,
which
that's
we'll
gonna
talk
be
about
another
later.
show,
And,
but-
Yeah.
and the marathon.
We have the
Can't
marathon.
forget the marathon.
And
We'll have
that's
about
really making a mark nationally, the Missoula Marathon.
sure.
It absolutely is. We've got almost 4,000 people that come into town for that, and it's an amazing event. And we started a welcome festival last year on registration day. So on Saturday before the race, then people can come down to the park, and there's music and there's food and there's beer and wine, and then you can register, or if you're just down with the markets, come have fun.
Right. And the marathon drawing 4,000 people as participants, right?
Yeah.
That
Right.
means a lot more people are coming with them.
You bet.
Obviously, they're not coming solo.
You bet. Families come and enjoy, and spend the whole weekend with us.
Weren't all the hotels full last year when
Yes.
they had the marathon?
Yeah.
And how many hotel rooms do we have in town?
We have about 3,500 right around
Okay.
now.
And tell Joel about how much tourism impacts the Missoula economy.
I think that's the thing that surprises people. They don't really think of Missoula as being a tourist destination as such, And we have 3.2 million people who come to Missoula annually.
That's pretty shocking.
Yeah, 1.1 of them spend at least one night or more, and so about $320 million of our economy is based on tourism.
That's
It's a
pretty
huge amount.
amazing. Because I was reading something and someone said, "Oh, Missoula nestled between Glacier and Yellowstone
Yellowstone.
National Park,"
Right.
and then people say, that's an odd nestling because it's hundreds of miles.
Yep.
It is, but you would be surprised how many people come and they will come into Missoula, experience Missoula, and then do their trips based out of there to both parks, actually. So.
Well, if somebody were watching this and they are involved in business in Missoula, what would you say to them? What does Destination Missoula offer them? I mean, is it a membership organization?
Yes, it is. We have about right around 150 members, and I think the thing that makes Destination Missoula unique that we offer to people is the fact that we reach a completely different demographic than most organizations in town do. Most organizations reach the other businesses within town. We reach millions of people who are interested in coming to Missoula. Our website alone has about 350,000 unique visitors a year.
Yeah.
And so you have the ability to reach those people before they get to town when they're making their decisions about what they're going to see and do.
Oh, so that can be really important for
Very.
people that rely on this kind of tourist trade and so
Yeah,
on.
businesses that really want to grow their business with, out of area spending should be connected with Destination Missoula. Barb and her staff also are working to bid for events, bid for conferences. They produce this amazing Missoula visitor guide
guide.
and Missoula map. They have a ton
Oh,
of
it's a great picture of
resources
the
at
Wilma.
their
Isn't that nice?
fingertips.
Oh, I see, it's over there. Philip's going to come in and dutifully, and I didn't hold this up. Let's start with the big one.
And, things like Brennan's Wave and the upcoming Max Wave, they are definitely a draw
Yes,
for
they
regional travel. We've had a number of different kayaking events there.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great poster.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, okay, Philip, while you're there, I'm going to change to a magazine so people could see this.
So that's our visitor guide, our official visitor guide.
And this visitor guide is placed like at the likely hotels and motels.
It's all over.
about.
It's all over Missoula in certified folder racks any place that you go in Missoula, but it's
Right.
also all the way up to Glacier Park and down to Yellowstone. And then we produce 115,000 of those a year.
Wow.
And then they are mailed out. They go into the Spokane area.
And then, I'm just taking a quick look. This publication does accept ads.
Yes.
And the ads are some of the likely suspects,
Some,
like
sure.
the Hawthorne and,
You bet.
and the
You bet.
Holiday Inn and so on. But people in the Wingate, but you may consider wanting to advertise in this if
Absolutely,
you think it
we-
would suit, and you didn't
Absolutely.
know that there was this opportunity.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for people to reach a different market.
Yeah.
And this publication, is produced by Blodgett Productions. We do it annually. We are in sales right now. And, if anybody wants to really learn about Missoula, this is the publication they should read cover to cover, because it
Yeah.
tells you everything that you want to know as a visitor, as a resident, as somebody who might be looking to relocate their business to town. There's a lot of very valuable information as far as our economy goes.
Oh, I know we have to move along because I saw a pile of people out there, and I have this list, but I never know who shows up, and then I'm in
Right.
here. But I wanted to ask about the parking garage and the
Sure.
Missoula Mercantile, because I think people are wondering,
You bet.
when is that going to be done, the parking garage? When is that going to be done, the Mercantile?
So the parking garage on East Front Street, they've finished pouring the last floor. It's scheduled to be completed in September.
Okay.
It will add 325 new parking spaces to the downtown landscape. In conjunction with that, we'll also be doing an engineering study this summer to look at converting Front and Main Street from one-way streets to two-way streets.
Oh, I had heard that.
Once
Yeah.
we get the engineering study done, then we'll need to look at how do we fund conversion. And then 2 weeks ago, Octagon Partners started renovation of the historic Missoula Mercantile building. And so they have Martel Construction and Homeward in there, deconstructing and keeping all of the valuable historical aspects.
Oh, that's
Yeah, isn't that great?
They do have some lead and asbestos in the building that need to
Oh,
be
okay,
removed.
great.
They have several new businesses that will be moving into the building when it's completed. I'm thinking it's probably a 12 to 18 month renovation period. Second floor will be office, first floor and basement space, which is stellar. Not cellar,
Right,
stellar.
because you've seen it. You've
I've
been on
seen
the tour.
it. It's fabulous.
Okay.
Both the basement and the first floor will be commercial, mixed use commercial. So you'll
Okay.
see some retail, some dining, some entertainment. And we're so fortunate that Octagon Partners,
Yeah.
decided to purchase
I think
and invest
a lot of
in our
people are
community.
breathing a huge sigh of relief that
Absolutely.
they're going to see that historic building put to good use
Yes.
by a company with a strong track record and doing the
Yeah.
same thing in towns of similar size
And
and
college
markets.
towns across the
Absolutely.
Yeah.
U.S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no residential.
No, they initially
Interesting.
were looking at residential, but the cost to put the residential in, you're putting in all the plumbing,
Yeah.
the kitchens and the bathrooms, and the market was so high for commercial office space
wow,
that they
that's
opted
great.
to go with that instead.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So lots going on downtown.
I guess I better go, but I want to thank you both so
Well,
much
thank you
for
so
coming
much.
over, for waiting to get on and
Yeah, we
being
appreciate
so
Anytime,
it.
available.
Joel.
Yeah, anytime.
Thank you for all
Thank
that you
for
do
the
to help
exposure.
promote our
Oh,
community.
come on, it's easy. I'm just sitting in a chair.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful
bigger
thing
than
you
that.
do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we've congratulated ourselves, so we only hope that you stay and see more guests on this edition of Missoula Live. We'll be right back.
Nice job.
All right, Linda is showing me her daughter, Maddie. I guess she's shy because she wouldn't come on. Or she could have been on this show. But instead, Ben Weiss is here from Sunday Streets, Missoula. Welcome.
Yeah, Missoula in Motion, actually.
Yeah, I
Sunday
guess
Street Missoula is
so.
one of our events.
Yeah, but right now,
That's what we're talking
you
about.
are, but that's true. Missoula in Motion. Do you want to tell people a teeny bit about Missoula in Motion now that
Sure.
you mention it?
Missoula in Motion is a county agency that is designed to encourage the use of sustainable transportation, biking, walking, busing, carpooling, telecommuting,
Right?
getting to work, getting to school some other way than by yourself in a car.
Yeah.
And we understand that driving sometimes is the best way to get around, but what we want to encourage is that little bit of thought before leaving the house. Do I really need to get in my car today? Is that the best vehicle for the trip that I'm taking?
Yeah. And along this this adventure of opening hearts and minds to alternatives is this great alternative use for a day of Higgins. Is it going to be the same route, like the red X is right out
This
here
one
to South
to
4th?
South 5th, actually, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's this event, June 3rd, Sunday Streets, Missoula, will be that same route.
Yeah.
The red X's to
South
5th.
5th West.
Yep, and then South 4th Street down to Toole Park.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we encourage people to ride along the river trail system, over the bridge, under the bridge on Madison.
Yeah.
And then back through Kiwanis Park and Bess Reed and Caris, and then back up to Higgins.
Yeah. And the Sunday Streets involve lots of participation from nonprofit groups. There's some commercial, I think, out there too. But I recorded it last year, and if I could have found a DVD player, we could have done some roll-in footage. But what I recall is there were lots of things for kids to do. There's like a ring toss game going on. There were people like doing taekwondo.
Yeah.
And they had like mats out right on Broadway. Or was Broadway open?
Broadway's open, actually.
Broadway's open.
So the
It
people
was
can
on
still get
Spruce.
across town. Yep. It was
No, Pine.
Maine, maybe?
No, it was Pine.
It was Pine, okay.
Yeah, because I remember now that in the background was that boulevard, you know, of Pine. And the people are doing yoga in the street.
Yep, we have all that and more this year. We have Zumba classes.
What is that?
Zumba is dance exercise,
Oh,
from what
okay,
I
yeah.
understand. Ula, which is a
What is
Missoula
that?
version of Zumba.
Okay.
It's more, different types of body movement, creative.
More hill climbing body movement, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? We'll see.
Micro beer drinking body movement. I don't know.
We'll see on June 3rd.
Yeah.
There's, Pilates classes for free for people.
There's a bike. I remember a guy had lots of interesting recumbent bikes that people could take them for a spin.
Yeah, that guy will be back. They're called Lightspeed
Yeah.
Cycles. It's an international company that's down in the Bitterroot.
Yeah,
They just
yeah.
happen to be close to us. So they come and showcase their different rides and encourage people to take them out for a spin and see how it is. Parks and Rec also has their blue bikes out, so that if you don't have your bicycle or if it's in disrepair, you can come and borrow one of theirs for free and ride it around the event.
I think
Or-
REI had like a repair thing.
They do.
in
REI
front of the
has a
Wilma.
repair station in front of the Wilma. Open Road will be there doing repairs as well this year.
Nice.
So there's all sorts of ways to
Yeah.
get around that day.
And it was totally like, people from age 8 to 88 were entertained and what have you. And it involves
That's
too.
actually our exact range. That's
Oh,
our,
is it 8 to 88?
8
Like
to
the
88,
piano,
yeah,
the
that's
keyboard
our-
thing.
that's-
But
that's
there really
kind of
was
the-
something for everyone to do in that respect,
Yeah, you can get a cup of coffee and just saunter about
Yeah.
talking to your friends. Or if you want to really get a workout in, you can do that day too.
That's right. People were playing giant chess, for instance. They had those chess pieces that were like this big.
Yeah, 2 or 3 feet tall.
Yeah, that's really fun. And then is something going on at the park at the trails end on South 4th West?
I'm not sure. That's still being worked out potentially. But 4th will be closed to car traffic, and
Yeah.
it will be a way to cut around. There were times last year that it was so crowded that it was actually faster to bike down the park
Right.
around the trail system and back up the other side than it was to try and cross the bridge.
Oh yeah, there was painting on the bridge. I
Yeah,
got
the
lots
public,
of nice
the
shots.
Public Art Commission,
Yeah.
they do sidewalk chalk. They just put
Yeah.
out bundles of chalk and invite people
And
to
it
come
was
and
really
use it.
cool looking too, because some people had done portraits and murals. Oh, I guess they were showing the website while we were chatting. I didn't realize that.
Oh, okay.
So they're showing some pictures maybe of last year. But people were drawing all over the bridge, and some had done like portraits and murals, and I was taking a video of it with that L&M mountain in the background, so iconic, so familiar with this street, like totally done up in a different way. People were there for like Western Montana Humane Society, lots of nonprofits like KUFM was there as well.
Yeah,
So we got-
KVGA is a big sponsor
Yeah.
of ours, the college radio station.
So there are booths of information of a lot of interesting organizations lining this thing that's walkable, bikeable, skateboardable. People had those inline skates.
There are, and we ask those people that come to participate, these activity hosts. It's not just having a booth with information; it's providing a way to some sort of activity, hopefully a physical activity, to engage with the participants, so that unlike other festivals where people come and passively watch the entertainment, at Sunday Streets Missoula, we ask you to come and make it your own. Make the entertainment. For instance, KBGA this year is going to have instruments, and you can make your own band. You can show up
that's totally great.
and play your own music. So.
And Drum Brothers were up here, more like by the NP building here, but they were giving lessons to people, on very simple drum beats, and then there were dancers doing some dance moves, like African dance moves, in the street.
Exactly, and that was Jebe Bara, they're called. They give free lessons at Sunday Streets Missoula. So there's anything you want to try, if there's something active that you've heard about in town, there's a good chance that there will be a class for it for free at Sunday Streets.
And I want to emphasize to people that Sunday Streets is one day only in a season, right? So June 3rd, mark it on your calendar, because it's not every weekend for at all. What time does it start?
It starts at 10 a.m. and it goes till 4 p.m. So Higgins will be closed to car traffic early that day.
Yeah.
If you're staying out that Saturday night, please don't leave your car on Higgins. We do move them for people that do, and we just tow them off to the side at no charge to the...
Right, and they could find them again, too.
And we have a list of who's been towed. And,
right.
We do all of...
But that's a good word to the wise. If people are downtown on Saturday night, be sure to take your car off of Higgins that night of Saturday, June 2nd. Oh, and also, each time this comes up, it seemed important to say this to people, that even though it is a kind of alternative transportation type event, people can drive to it and park like at Central Park or park nearby.
Yep, Central Park is open from the Ryman Street side.
Yeah.
There is parking kind of
down by Caris.
The Bank
Park.
Street building. Caris, the Sunday market happens down there too. Right. So parking is a little more limited there, but the Triangle, the Fox Theater Triangle site on the corner of Orange and Front Street there, that's a free parking area.
And people could walk under the bridge, under Orange Street to Higgins from there.
Exactly.
They wouldn't even have to cross the street if they didn't want to. So there's a way to get to the event. Oh, look, they found still pictures from the website. And that, I think, is showing the Higgins Bridge.
Yep.
The Montaigne building is on the right. And then there's a lot of the street art on the very street, the chalk
there's
drawings
REI doing their free bike
because there's the
people.
Wilma right to the right. So here's the website. I'll say it in case you can't see it at home. Sunday Streets Missoula, allonestring.org. And of course you can Google that too.
Yep.
Well, Ben, we
you can
better
also
go.
Find us on Facebook.
Oh, is that right? You got a Facebook
We
thing?
have a Facebook, yeah.
I know we better go because I have more guests, but is there anything you want to add before I throw you off the studio? Oh, we could show
We have
people this groovy
stickers. Yeah, we have really cool stickers designed by Josh Quick, and so I'll leave you with some of these. So
Thank you.
Your
I
other
really
guests
love them.
can take some, and maybe some of your staff
It always
members.
makes me think of Charlie's Angels, right? It's got like a 70s look, and then these silhouettes of a cat on a leash and a baby being carried in a sort of bicycle. Oh, look what they did. They're so
There it
clever.
is, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a sticker you could get if you attend this event as well. But this time it is June 3rd and not to come back until September, right?
Not to come back till September, and I will come back to visit you to talk to you about that one.
Yeah.
Because that one might look a little different.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Ben, thanks so much for coming.
Thanks for having me, Joel.
You know it. We'll be right back. I know I have more guests, so stay with us on Missoula Live. Thanks.
Sticks and stones
Sticks and stones
Sticks and stones
can break me.
but words can hurt me too.
What if
What if we set an example?
By living each day,
By words like freedom,
confidence,
strength, courage,
friendship.
family,
Tolerance.
hope.
What if we
what if we taught our children words to live by?
Responsibility.
forgiveness, love,
gratitude,
respect.
Put an end to bullying. Spread the word.
That's related. Okay, we're back with Caitlin Copple and Chris Gehring. They're both here representing the Pride Foundation. Welcome. And thanks for
you.
waiting out there. I understand you learned a lot about bears.
We did, I know. I'm really
Yeah, that is
excited
kind
for
of
the next
fascinating.
spot.
I mean, yeah, because then Chuck will come out later. But on to the Pride Foundation. I mentioned just before we came back that I thought you'd be a great guest on the show because Pride Foundation had made grants in the region. I don't know if it was in Missoula. It was like a Facebook thing, and it was like, oh, good. I gotta call her. But of course, I didn't read the content other than think I should ask you to be on the show.
So I think a lot of folks in Montana still maybe don't know exactly what Pride Foundation does because there's a big parade, that moves around the state, and people often associate us with that. And we're not the parade people, but we actually are a community foundation, just like you have the Missoula or the Montana Community Foundation. And our community is just the LGBT, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender community, and we're based in all 5 states of the Northwest. So I'm the Montana representative, and we give away grants and scholarships to help build the equality movement in our area.
And that's basically what foundations tend to do.
Yeah, grant making.
Give money, grant making to other groups.
Yes, it's very fun to give money away.
I bet, because then the recipients are so happy.
Oh, you're looking at one.
Oh, so that's your role, Chris. You're a recipient of one of the Pride Foundation. Oh, that's
scholarships.
Yep. That's brilliant that you brought him here. Okay.
Yeah.
That's smart.
He's brilliant, really.
Okay,
So that's why I wanted to show him off. And we actually have 7 scholars this year. We gave away just under $20,000 total, which is a significant increase. Last year, only $2,500 was given away.
Wow,
and that's really a testament to the generosity in Montana. I work across the state meeting all of the gay people and those who love us. And it's very fun. And, I try to build our donor base here in Montana, and then that is actually tripled by donors from the King County, Seattle area, where most of our supporters are. So,
because Pride Foundation is based in Seattle.
Well, sort of. We like to think we're based in all 5 states because we do have staff on the ground in all 5 states, but most of the staff is still in Seattle. And all of our funding decisions are made by local volunteers. So if anybody's watching and thinks, oh, I think that would be super fun to give away $20,000, then they can get in touch with me. And all of the folks that decided, that Chris was a worthy investment, are just regular folks from around the state. We had some volunteers from Bozeman and some from Missoula and some from Billings helping us out.
And they read applications and so on. And so there was a competitive pool, and then to decide.
Yep. So we reviewed a more general team got together and picked sort of the 16 most competitive scholarship applications, and Chris was part of that. And then we cut that down to 5 that we were going to interview.
I couldn't do that work.
And then Chris made it from that too. So.
Oh, that's great. Scholarships is like to pursue your education.
Yes.
Oh, that's really good.
Yep.
And altogether, we have 94 scholars this year from across all 5 states of the Northwest, and we're giving away almost $400,000 total across the region. So we're the single largest provider of scholarships for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender students of any age in the whole country, which is really exciting. And I think a lot of people in Montana know that, often when especially young people are coming out to their families, they often can risk being kicked out of their homes or, find themselves in homeless situations. So it's really great when the community can come together and say that we believe in you, we want to invest in you, and we know that you'll go forth to pay it forward and really become the next generation of civil rights leaders in our community.
Oh, that's great. Now, here's the Pride Foundation website. And folks, if you want to learn more about it and you can't read that is little writing to you at home, it's pridefoundation.org, or just Google it. So can you tell people a little bit about what they'll encounter on the website?
Yeah,
I want to put you on the spot. This is unrehearsed.
No, that's fine. So on our website, you'll find out about what the entire organization does.
Yeah.
And then if you click on the Get Local the Get Local tab over there on the, I guess it's my right, you can click on Montana and find out a little bit more about who our leaders are in the state. We have a statewide kind of advisory board that helps direct my work in the state.
Okay.
They help facilitate our grants and scholarships process. They help us raise money. They help us write blogs and tell the community about all the great things that are happening and reach out into the more mainstream community so that they know that gay people are around and we're doing great things and we care about making Montana great as well.
And in Montana, I saw on that map was a huge tan thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I've driven, let's see, I think over 7,000 miles since I started this job, a little over a year
Yeah,
ago.
because I've seen you on the Facebook posting.
Yeah.
You'd be like in Bozeman, then you're in
Red
Kalispell, then you're in
Lodge,
Helena.
Harvard.
Yeah,
we
it's
go
pretty
we go all
amazing.
over. So it's a lot of fun, and we've got a great team of about 13 volunteers. The folks here in Missoula that are a part of that are Representative Bryce Bennett, Melissa Fisher, who works for NCBI, Mary Stranahan, who's up in Arlee,
Oh, yeah.
and David Herrera. There's another one here in Missoula.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, Chris, I want to give you a little bit of time so you're not just showboating. Like, how did you find out about it? Did you apply with an essay? I mean, why do you think they gave you the money?
I don't know. I'm really grateful they did give me the money, but
Right.
I knew about the Pride Foundation scholarship from several years ago, and so I just happened to think about it, and I logged on to the website, and the application process is pretty simple. You know, they ask you some straightforward questions, and then they give you sort of like a guided essay of some certain questions that they wanted you to kind of focus on. And so my focus was on, for the past 7-8 years, I've been working with the HIV positive community, doing HIV testing, showing people how to correctly use condoms and what have you. And so I kind of wrote about that experience. And so it got past the first part, and then we had an interview, and we had a great conversation, and the folks at the Pride Foundation were so generous, and I got the scholarship, so I'm really excited for it.
What are you going to use the educational scholarship for, like study at the university here?
Yes, I'm a sociology major, so I'm trying to sort of gear my education more towards looking at the HIV positive community and the epidemic itself to see what, how we can help curb it and make it go away eventually. And that takes a lot of money, and so it's.
Yeah.
And I think the volunteers were especially touched by what Chris wrote, just because, we recently had the outbreak of, I think there's 12 or 19 new cases here in Missoula.
I think it was 12 were reported in like a 2-month period.
Yeah, and I've heard just from folks that work in the field that there's considerable thinking that there are more out there that just haven't, people haven't come in and been tested yet. So it's a really important field of study, and we know HIV and AIDS funding is being cut 35% or more, across the state and federal levels. So it's a really important field, and we're glad to see young leaders like Chris taking it on so that hopefully we can wipe out HIV/AIDS.
Yeah, and we, in MCAT, we share space. Just down the hall is the Open AIDS Alliance. It used to be the Missoula AIDS Council, and Krista Weathers was on the show just recently talking about their efforts. So I'll just throw in, if people are watching, if you're all concerned about HIV issues, 500 North Higgins Avenue, and I often see their testing signs on a sandwich board. It's free, it's confidential, it's really fast, and there's counselors there to boot. It's not like a cold hospital setting or anything.
And I think a lot of people think, HIV isn't in Montana, but Chris, I'm sure you could speak more to it than
I
can, but it's definitely here.
It's definitely here, and
it's
it's not going away, and it's going to become a bigger problem if we don't kind of address it. So that's kind of where I want to put my focus.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I know I better go to learn more about bears, to be fair to Chuck who's waiting. But before I go, I just want to make sure, okay, there it is. If you want to learn more about what we were talking about, the pridefoundation.org is the ticket. If you want to make a donation,
you can do so there,
through the
and
website.
all Montana donations stay in Montana, and like I said, are tripled by donors from mainly the Western Washington area, where our biggest base is.
So each dollar given in Montana is matched by 3 more.
Yeah, I actually just did the math, so it's every dollar we raise here in Montana, $3.80 comes back to Montana in terms of grants and scholarships. So
wonderful.
It's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much,
thank you.
and Chris. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And congratulations to all of our scholars. Is it okay if I just say their names really quick?
Do.
So we have Mari Wolverton, who's a senior at Sentinel High School, just graduating. Chris Gehring, of course. Paul Vestal, who's at the law school here in Missoula. Ryan Smith, who is from Missoula, but actually studying in Seattle and wants to go to med school at UW. Okay. And Robert Enoch, who's a grad student in psychology here at the U as well. And then, I knew this was going to happen.
I was amazed you got through that many names, as if they were your own children.
Who else? Okay, well, the rest should be on our website, so I
Okay,
encourage people to go there.
Okay.
So I think I got most of them anyway. So
Great.
Kyle Brester, he's the other one,
Oh, okay.
also a senior in high school here in Missoula.
Wow. Oh, that's excellent.
Yep.
All right, we'll be right back with Chuck. He's in the wings. I see him warming up in the bear pen. Stay with us for Missoula Live.
Howdy. How to get your show on MCAT. Here's a few steps. Make your show. When you finish your show, all you have to do, fill out your program contract for absolutely no fee. What kind of deal is that? Also online. Remember, you must be a Missoula resident. If not, you can have your friend from Missoula turn it in for you as a sponsor. Turn in your show at MCAT. In 3 to 4 weeks, you can have your show on MCAT. And that's how you get your show on MCAT. For more information, contact MCAT, Missoula Community Access Television, at 542-6228 and at MCAT.org.
Where did you come from?
What are you doing?
Texting.
Do you have a death wish, ma'am?
It was just gonna be for a second.
And I'm pretty sure typical car accidents can happen about a second or less, ma'am.
How'd you get in my car?
Unexpected things tend to happen when you text and drive, genius.
I know, but...
No buts. Pay attention to the road if you enjoy not being dead, my fair lady. That's better.
So, the true moral here is don't be texting and driving unless you want to be texting and dying?
No, don't.
I was joking.
No, really, just no. Be smart. Don't text and drive.
You're running out of time, but we're like all sitting here. And if you're a faithful viewer of this show, you've seen that PSA a lot. So I'm here with Chuck Bartlebaugh. He is bebearaware.org, and Chuck has really got important information about bear safety, which I thought was very timely because summertime's coming.
It's bear season.
It's bear season. The bears are waking up. It's really spring, but it feels like a summer day today. So I've got this graphic, and Chuck, you feel free though to tell people.
This is all about knowing what you're buying. When you go to a store to buy bear spray, ask for it as bear spray. Bear spray and pepper spray are two different things.
Okay.
That's real important to know. Make sure you buy an actual bear spray, and it clearly states on the can it's not for humans, it's for bears, and the active ingredients are capsaicin and related capsinoids, and it has the EPA registration number. That's very, very important. Some people, unfortunately, have bought regular pepper spray, and that may or may not stop a charging bear. You want to buy what was designed, manufactured for use on bear, and tested by the University of Montana right here to show that it did work on bears.
Yeah.
And it's been thoroughly tested on both black bears and grizzly bears.
And this is different than pepper spray. People think that they're all the same, like mace or whatever, and that is not the case.
That is not the case. Mace is a gas, for instance. It's not even a pepper. And bear spray is regulated by the Environmental Protection Agency and the Montana Agricultural Department. So what is said on the label must be in the can.
Right.
Your regular pepper spray or personal defense spray or law enforcement spray, they can put whatever they want in the can. This has to be very specific, and the delivery system is designed for bears.
Right. And on this graphic, you've got some specifics where, and you just pretty much detailed that.
Detailed those.
This is what you should be looking for when you go to purchase a bear deterrent spray like that.
Correct. And it's very easy to use. It can be used with one hand, and that's the best way to use it. Though if you're timid and might be startled by the bear or not familiar with how to use bear spray, it helps to hold it with two hands. But the best way is with one hand. You just slip the cap off, let that down, and then hold it directly towards the approaching bear, disperse some spray side to side, and that creates a barrier. You do not have to aim bear spray.
You just want to create a barrier cloud.
The cloud, that's right. Some people still tell people to aim for the eyes, nose, or mouth. You don't need to. That bear will be all covered with it because of the expanding cloud.
Right.
And that works extremely well that way.
And in your video, I was reviewing that video that you had me change, to mini DV. It was saying, don't stick this thing in your backpack.
No,
if the animal surprises you, and then you start going into this Watusi because you're going to get the bear spray out.
There's three types of bear charges. One is where the bear is charging from, say, 50 or 60 feet away. You disperse the bear spray immediately. The cloud goes out 25 to 35 feet, and the bear charging meets the cloud, enters the cloud. It affects its eyes, nose, mouth, lungs, and its ears. All that becomes inflamed, and the bear loses its senses and ability to breathe deeply, and it diverts its charge.
Right.
It's not the pain of the spray. It's shutting down all the senses of the bear that a bear would use in a charging situation.
To use to orient itself, to know where the prey or object of the attack was. All these issues of like, where am I and where is the other being are lost.
That's right.
And the bear's totally confused, like, what was I doing?
I want out of here.
Yeah.
That's what you want. If the bear is charging real close, say 15 or 20 feet away, you spray directly at the bear and continue spraying. In some cases, because of the speed, the bear may make contact, knock you down, then you lay flat, protect the back of your neck. In every case but two, the bear has ceased its attack on the person after nipping and slapping them and ran off. In one case in Glacier Park, it sat on the woman and cleaned itself. And the woman said, "You're supposed to leave now," and the bear got up and walked off.
That's
what's going to happen to me too. It's
right.
Those odd situations. And the third is if you're in a tent and the bear's coming through your tent, you spray directly at the front of that bear and just keep spraying. And you're really going to be compromised because you're inside of a tent. But that's the best thing to do in that situation.
Now, people are wondering, where should they go for this? Hardware stores? Is it better to go to a
sporting
specialty?
goods stores. I know REI handles it here in town.
Okay.
And it's real easy to use. It's made to have the least amount of decision making on the user. Just take that cap off, direct it, and spray.
Right.
Now, if you don't hold it firmly, it wiggles and you end up spraying upwards, and you'll spray over top of the bear. That's why I want to grasp it firmly and tilt it slightly downward so it billows up in front of
Because the bear charging is fairly low to the ground.
Yeah, he
they
puts
get
his
big,
nose down
but
low.
They're down low, so
Yeah.
that's where it will do the most good.
Exactly. And it will billow down, but it takes a while to do that. So you want it to be billowing up more than billowing down. So that's why you tilt it down.
Chuck, I wonder if you could tell people too just a little bit about the Center for Wildlife Information. That's your...
Yeah, we are an educational nonprofit group that specializes in producing educational materials, programs to be used by school students, youth groups, the National Park Service, the Forest Service, and how to avoid conflicts with bears. We empower others to teach the thousands that visit Montana. That's our goal.
And we just learned from, we've got 2 minutes, okay, from the visitor center, Barb Neilan, who is here, that she said 3.2 million visitors come to the region every year.
They've had record attendance at Glacier and Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Even with the economy the way it is.
Yeah, that's really surprising.
And it's 30 million for the four northwestern states. So that's a huge number of people.
It's a huge number.
So the public can help us get the message out.
Yeah. And then I want to make sure, like, do you have a website for the Center of Wildlife Information?
BeBearAware.org.
Okay, and we put that up, and here it is.
Yeah.
And here you folks...
You'll see our dancing bear.
Right, and you could learn a lot about bear safety. So if you're a camper or a hiker, or this summer you're planning to have visitors.
Or a youth group leader.
Yeah, 1 minute, says Philip.
Give us a call.
Oh yeah, and what number should people call to learn more about it?
550-4472.
Got it, 550-4472. You'll talk to Chuck.
There's no charge for our programs or anything.
That's great.
Okay.
All right, we guess we better go. I want to thank you for watching this edition of Missoula Live. I'm Joel Baird, the General Manager here at MCAT. If you know of a group you'd like to see on this program, give us a call at MCAT, 542-6228. For MCAT, thanks for watching.
Sticks and stones
Sticks and stones
Sticks and stones,
can break me.
but words can hurt me too.
What if
What if we set an example?
By living each day,
by words like freedom,
Confidence,
strength, courage,
Friendship,
family,
Tolerance.
hope,
what if we
taught our children words to live by?
Responsibility.
forgiveness, love,
gratitude,
respect.
put an end to bullying, spread the word.